Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. This is Eileen at Jane Nicole Designs, and I'm gonna let everybody get on for a few minutes. It's been one of those mornings where I haven't even finished my coffee yet. Yeah, it's been a busy day today already this morning at the Winton household, and we are actually just getting ready. I just heard on read on the news that we're going to be getting some snow. So we are finishing up a few little this and that's, and when you get on, just let me know how you're doing and where you're watching from. And we are going to be making a redesign. And this is one of those things where I thought, you know what? It's super close to Christmas, but I'm still in the Christmas making mood. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I have already put up on my Etsy shop a listing for what we're going to be doing, and I am just calling it farmhouse wreath redesign. And so I'll give you a little bit more let me look here okay, there was just something that popped up. So anyway, I'm going to be doing the project today, and then I will take a few pictures of it. And like I said, right now it is already on my Etsy shop. So if you are watching and you love this design and it's only going to be one of a kind, you are welcome to purchase it in my Etsy shop, Jane Nicole Designs. So super excited today to be able to come with you and do a project. We well, like I said, we are just kind of getting ready for the Christmas season. To be honest, we haven't finished shopping, but in our small town, it is okay. We are going to hit Tractor Supply and North 40. I don't know if you know what those stores are, but in our household, cowgirl and hunting and fishing is part of our life, and boating. We bought a boat, so we are going to be doing a lot of Christmas shopping for those things. So anyway, let's just get started. I was gonna let you know that when we were putting all of our Christmas stuff up, I was just kind of trying to decide where I wanted my different themes in the house. And like I told you before, my daughter Abby, she decorated all the Christmas trees this time, and so I got to do the extra little around the house decorating. And so I will give you a house tour probably in the next few days, but we got out some stuff. Our shed outside had all of our Christmas stuff in it, and we started taking things apart, and we noticed that here in Idaho this summer was super hot, so I had melted candles and different things that didn't really make it through the season of being hot in a little shed area. So I decided just to start ripping some things apart. And so today, this is what we're going to be doing. This is an old wreath that you can see it's worse for wear, but I got this at out of one of the boxes, and I thought, you know what, this is so ugly, I can't even put it up. So I threw it off to the side, and then I was like, you know what, this needs a little bit of a revamp. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna revamp this into a farmhouse style. And then I also went to the thrift store, and this is a candlestick that I got, and it has a matching one over there. And we are going to do a little bit of revamp and redesign on this one. So if you are up for that, come along with me. First of all, I gotta get rid of my sweatshirt. I don't want any paint on my sweatshirt. Today's t-shirt is a design that's in my Etsy shop. It's called She Deer Reindeer or something like that. I did a little bit different. I vamped. Hi, Dusty. I vamped and put blue for the eyes, and it's not brown. I put cream for the antlers, but you can go to janenicoledesigns.com and type in She Reindeer and t-shirt, and then you know what? You can order one of these. Right now, the shipping's not too bad. I actually had a box that I sent yesterday over to Washington, and it was $9 for second day delivery. So it's been really good to be able to do that. So anyway, okay, so we are going to do a little bit of revamping on this. This was an old wooden little believe, and I'm going to get rid of that. And how I did this, I just, looks like I just tucked it in here. So great job on my part. Now I don't have to do too much fluffing. But we are going to take this apart, and if you know me, we will use this again, so don't worry about that. And I'm going to do a little bit of fluffing because this has been stuck in a box and it needs a little bit of fluff. And when we do this, I have a couple questions for you. We are going to be doing some farmhouse style, and this is one of the flowers. Tell me if you like this one, or good morning. How's it going, guys? This style, or put them together both. Let me know in the comments what you would prefer. If you were making this wreath, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments. Okay, so I fluffed this up. It's about ready to go. And so I'm going to set this off to the side, and we are going to do a little bit of painting first off, because I need my paint to dry in different stages. We're going to be using some glitter. We're going to be using some paint. There's Mod Podge involved today, and welcome signs, all sorts of things. And my favorite thing, this is a block of wood that I got. I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but that's kind of where we're going to be going. So, all right, let's take our beautiful candlestick. I know when I looked at it, it came into the thrift store. I was like, I want that. It didn't even go out on the floor. I volunteer in the back. See you, Dusty. There you go. He's like, I want to say hi this morning. But when this came into the thrift store, I was like, yeah, don't even let it hit the floor. I will take it home and I will make it look different in my own way. And so $1.99 later, it's mine. Okay, so today we're going to be using, this is ivory, and this is Waverly paint. And you can see I have not used it. It comes just a little top there. And today I'm just going to be using it straight out of the jar because I don't really need to worry about being able to dip down far enough because it's brand new. Let me get my baby wipes. These are my best friend while I'm crafting. Make sure that my fingers stay clean and my projects don't get too icky. Okay, here we go. So with, let me show you this first. Sorry, it is backwards, but go ahead and you can screenshot it, take a picture of it, and read it. This is Waverly, and this one is ivory. I kind of wanted to do the ivory because the flowers that I'm going to be using today have that that just off-white color, and I want to make sure that I don't put too stark of a contrast. When you're doing stuff like this only needs like maybe one and then some touch-up paint. I could do two, so we'll see how it's going to go on. But this is the brush that I use. I want it to look a little bit weathered. I might even leave a little bit of the gold and the brown kind of smucky stuff showing through so that it looks a little bit old and a little bit nostalgic, that kind of thing. But just be careful when you're doing a project like this with all these little, oh, here we go. My mini heat press just said hello. We're going to be using that again today too. So anyway, when I'm using paint like this with all these little divots and things, just be careful when you're painting, because I've gotten stuff all over me and then I end up with a little, well, this could look like snowflakes on my shirt, but I don't want that, to be honest. Okay, so we're gonna just keep going. I want this one coat, and I'm gonna make sure that, like I said, each little thing, if there's a little bit of imperfection showing, that is okay. And you can make it any way you would like. So tell me in the comments what you would think as far as, would you do white or would you do off-white? Would you paint it black and put some rub and buff, the gold on it? Let me know what you would do with this if you had it. And the one thing that I can't do without is my trivet. I got this at Big Lots for like $7. And it is so nice to be able to spin things around in your projects so that you don't have to touch things as much. There we go. But just see how that goes on. It's nice. And I'm actually, if you can see here, I'm just making it a little, so that each like divot here, there's little bubbles in it that it's showing through. So then I don't have to make too many passes on it, that I can kind of let that old Englishy look come through on this. So let me know how you guys are doing as far as Christmas goes. Have you finished your Christmas shopping yet? Good morning, Amanda. It's awesome to see you. Let's see. Yep. Ooh, black with gold. I think, you know what, I have, I didn't show you guys, but I have another one to match. So I may be just doing a couple different colors. I'm not sure yet, but I think that this is a super fun find. And it's like, I'm not even sure what era this is, if it's, I don't know. You can put in the comments what you think the era is on here, but it's one of those where I think it's super fun to be able to take old things and make them modern or distressed in any way. I can see this for not just Christmas. You will see this, I am sure, back again around Easter. I have some topiaries that I found for Easter, and I cannot wait to play with them. They'll be very, very fun. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a little bit of a coat up here on these last two sides, and then we are gonna set it aside because I want to make sure that this dries very well. And I could use my hair dryer. I may at the end if we need to. I might do that just to make sure that some of the divots here have a little bit more than other places of paint, and so I want to make sure that that dries so I don't get it all over me. But if you have an old hair dryer, it works really well. Heat guns, I've seen embossing guns for stamping. I like it, but I kind of, every once in a while, I get burnt by mine, and so I'm kind of a chicken when it comes to burning myself. If I'm gonna burn myself, I will, and I'm not as savvy like that. So if you get a chance and you want to try that, I just went to a thrift store and bought a hair dryer, and it works really well. So okay, this is what it's looking like, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm gonna pull it from right here. But do you see how I left a little bit of the dark in there? And just, good morning, Cami, good to see you. Just see how I left a little bit. See how there in the bottom there's a little bit of distressing already. So I don't have to worry about, you know, rub and buff afterwards. So that's good. So we are gonna set this off to the side, and I'm just gonna put it down on the floor here. There we go. And we're gonna let that dry. Put my paintbrush. I always like to make sure my area is clean here. We are going to do the do the wreath. And if you're just joining me right now, we are going to redesign a wreath. And I told it before, it is going to be up in my Etsy shop. If you want to purchase it, I already have the listing going on. So, and if you can't find the listing and you're not on Etsy, if you would like it, let me know. PM me the first one that says I'm going to buy it, then I will give you the chance to do it. But this right here is our wreath. And before, it had this ugly looking bow on it. And this is cute. This says believe on it, but not really in the red theme right now. I want to do more of a farmhouse style for today. And so if you've just joined me, let me know where you are watching from and what's your weather like. The other thing too is if you're watching and this is not live, just hit hashtag replay, and that helps it get some more notice and things like that. So, but anyway, this is what we're gonna do. After we disassembled the wreath, now I'm gonna make it pretty. So in the comments here, this is what we're kind of going for. If you want just the plain, or if you would like some buffalo check in there. I've got some pine cones and things like that. I can go totally just, let me get it here, traditional white little flowers. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see. So, okay, so I fluffed it up a little bit. Like I said, this came out of one of my Christmas boxes, disassembled it. What I want to do right now is I want to make the middle, kind of, this is one of the trendy things that's going on right now, is putting a saying inside the middle of your wreath. So this is what I got. I was on Facebook Marketplace, and there was a gal that was, they were just selling them. And so I thought, you know what, 20 bucks, I got this big box of all these little pieces of wood. And what I did is I just took a sanding block here, and then I sanded it. And now that's what it looks like right there. It's just, it's not as good. I would do more of like a 200 grit after that. This is quite a bit more than that. Anyway, so that was the third step. And then what I did, see, this is how it is pretty smooth. This is like, you know, what I want it to be like. And then what's on here, and you kind of see it, but it is a coating of like clear coat. And so I wanted to make sure that whatever I'm gonna put on this, that it's sealed, and then I'll be able to do that. So what I'm gonna do for this, I am going to make a new little sign out of it. And so this is my favorite new technique. Sorry about the crunglies, but I got these napkins at Hobby Lobby, and I love the buffalo check. I think it's great. So this is one way that you can take all of your napkins, and you know how you get, like, you go and have Christmas or whatever birthday, and then you have like 5 of them left. Well, this is a perfect project for those 5 left. But what we're gonna do is, these are 2-ply, so I wanna make sure that I only put 1 ply on my piece of wood, and it takes a few little seconds. And I don't know if you can see here, see where it has that little mark? I always rip that little part right there because that'll help me pull things apart. But you don't wanna have like what it's made in and from on your project. So I kind of just make sure that I already do that. But see how this pulls apart? Isn't that cool? So now this garbage, don't need to do anything with that. I haven't found anything, but if you do, let me know. And we are just gonna put it on the end here. And I'm gonna make sure, there we go. I'm gonna make sure that it is covered like where I want it. I want it just to go around the corners. And how I'm gonna do that and make sure is this right here is a blending pen. You can use it for stamping, or a water pen. I will show you. This is like almost like a paintbrush end, and it's full of water, if you can see that. We're gonna put the water where we want to almost like cut it. See how I'm doing that? And then look at how this does this. It tears it away. So if I pull it down here, okay, I want it a little bit on the side. Hold on to it. Make sure your project stays where it needs to be. And I'm just gonna drag this down the side. Isn't that so cool? I love it. It's kind of like your little scissors, but then it gives you that ripped edge so that, and we'll start over here. Make sure you line it up again. Isn't that cool? Tell me if you've done that before. I've always used it in card making, and you blend different colors together. And good morning, Jeff. Thank you so much for watching. Okay. Let's let it soak in for a little bit. There, and I want it to go down just right by the edge of the wood. There we go. I want to make sure that it goes all the way down to the end. There we go. All right, so keep this. I always have projects where I can rip little pieces and stuff like that. So you're welcome to, I always have a little box that have all these things in here. Okay, so now I'm looking and I want to make sure that there's a couple little pieces I'll just pull off on the side. You can decide how, I mean, you could actually just put it down a little bit and you could have the edge showing, but this is what I want to do. You can decide what you want to. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And if you were to put this on here, it would be like, I'm not really sure how it's going to go on wet. So what I did, and what I saw is, this is Mod Podge, and this one is the matte finish. And so we're going to use this. This is going to be our adhesive, which kind of sounds weird when I saw it, and I thought, you know what? Nope, we're going to figure it out. So let's make sure my little heat press is saying hello, saying you haven't used it yet. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my Mod Podge with my brush, and I'm just going to go around each side here, cover the whole surface that I want my napkin to go on. There we go. And like I said, this is the matte finish. There is glossy. I'll show it to you in just a second here. There we go. Okay, so this is glossy. It's the orange label. We're using the matte, which is the yellow. And then the new one I found, let me know if you, good morning, Tisha, good to see ya. If you have used this one, this is the blue label. It goes on things that you want to put in the dishwasher. So I have not even used it yet. See, it's still not even really used. But let me know what you use this for, because this is one of those where I thought, you know what? I'm going to get it because they were all in a row, and I'm kind of one of those where I like to have it all. And anyway, I've seen it being used with coffee mugs, but that is it. So, okay, I'm going to shoot this with the hairdryer, so excuse the noise. Noise. It's one of those. I know I lose a few when it gets noisy, but it's just a process you got to do. Okay, so now here's my little paper that tried to almost run away. I'm going to put that on here, and the reason why I'm doing this, I know it looks kind of funny, but the reason why I'm doing this is now I can move my my piece of napkin, and I have a matte finish. And now, let me make sure. I'm going to go and get my heat. Oops, let me go find one thing here. My heat thing. Oops, I just used it. Hold on. I try and keep everything that I'm going to use all in the day, but I was using this, and if you see on my t-shirt, it has little polka dots and stuff like that. And right before live, I was putting the little polka dots on the bow, and my heat thing was in the other room. Okay, so this is a Teflon heat sheet, and I use this when I do my t-shirts. And I want to make sure that this is going to adhere down. This is my Cricut Mini. This is a little heat press, super, super hot. Right now, it is on, let's see, 1, 2, 3. There it goes. It's on 3. And so it heats up super, super quick. And this is like when I was doing the little dots on here, I was making sure that I could, because I did it afterwards and thought, no, I think it needs a little bit of sparkly on the bow. So anyway, this is how we are going to adhere the napkin. And what it does is the heat heats up the Mod Podge and activates to the napkin. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that so cool? Now I have something that is stuck there. It is able to stay, and I don't have to put a coat over it if I don't want to. And like right now, I want to leave it that matte looking kind of, you know, just, you know, farmhouse look. I don't want it shiny. So this is a perfect way how to do with this. So, all right. So here's step 1 of that. All right. Next thing is I have this welcome sign, and we'll just do it this way. I painted it the ivory color from it was a different chalk that was ivory. And now I want to make it sparkly. So I'm going to take my, let me get my piece of paper here. This is just a white piece of cardstock. And so one side, I'm going to Mod Podge. And this is, like I said, this is the mat that I'm using today. And we are just going to do it super, super light. So I might even want to, yep, I'm going to dry off my brush a little bit on the side. But I want to make sure that every letter is covered, because I want the, we're going to be using some glitter. I want it to stick, but I also want it to make sure that it goes over the whole project. So let's make sure, and I'm going to make sure the back, we don't want it to be goopy in the back. That would be a tragedy here. Okay, so this is my Mod Podge paper. This is going to be my glitter paper. Okay, let me make sure I touched it, so I want to make sure that, there we go. Okay, so we're going to use this glitter right here. This is just it's diamond holographic fine. I got it at Walmart, I believe. And I'm just going to glitter it. I'm going to make it look sparkly. There we go. And go ahead and let that sit for a second. And while we're doing that, these are the little pine cones that I'm going to use. They already have some white from they kind of flocked them a little bit, but I am going to give them a little bit of a sparkle. So I'm just going to take my Mod Podge and do the exact same thing. We'll just add a little bit of sparkle to it. See how that goes? I know you probably can't see a ton of it, but believe me, it is there. It is beautiful. All right, we'll put a few more on here. And this is a super quick thing. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, but just a little bit of sparkle to make it snow-kissed. And I believe I have one more around here. Let me look. There it is. we'll put that on there, and let me know in the comments which flower are you liking. Do you want to do just the plain, or do you want the little round flowers? Are we thinking the burlap is going to be good for the farmhouse look? Let me know which flower you would, if it were you making this project, what would you choose? Okay, so like I said, there's just a little bit of a sparkle. All right, now that we've let this sit for a few, I'm just going to tap it off and just see how that gives it a little bit of a sparkle. I still want the off-white in there to be able to show through, but here we go. This is a little bit of a peek of what we're going to be doing. So, okay, let's get this off to the side. I will put that back in my glitter in just a few minutes. So if you're watching, let me know where you're watching from, and if you're watching this on the replay, #replay. The other thing too is I'm going to let you know throughout the video, this project that I'm making is going right up on Etsy, in my Etsy shop, Jane Nicole Designs, right after I finish it up, and then it goes, it'll go on my Etsy shop, so you're welcome to purchase it. I already have a box for it. It's ready to go, so if you want to get it by Christmas, buy it today. Okay. All right, here's the fun part. Let's get going. So with this wreath, I'm looking to see. Oh, Tisha and Jeff, have fun, you guys. You guys are chatting back and forth. This right here is our wreath that we are going to be redesigning. And like I said, it had an ugly bow on it. And oh, it looks like there's even a little spider deciding to say hi. Okay, we'll put this away. And this is a little bit fluffed up. When you get this wreath, because of shipping, it will go down a little bit. So do make sure that you fluff it up when you get it. See how this is going? I love it. Okay, so the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to make a bow. And the bow, this is buffalo check, and I'm going to use, it's kind of a double-sided. It does have wire in it, and that's what I love about it. And I'm going to do the traditional florist bow because I want it to be as fluffy as possible. So how you do that, you start off with a little round, and you pinch it with your thumb and your finger, and you're going to start making the bows. And so it's going to be a little bit backwards. I know, I'm sorry, I can't, for the video, I won't be able to do it too much backwards, but so what you're going to do is just make a loop however long you would like it. This is the center, and you're going to twist it, and then you're going to make another loop on the other side however long you want it, and then you're going to twist. And this is how I'm going to make the bow. I like to make them a little bit larger each time, each layer that I do. It may get a little bit fluffy as far as how much you're going to be holding on to, but it's okay. It's, you know what? I've taken these all apart and redone them. See how it goes? So just, I think it's a little bit of practice and you should be good. But like I said, just make your loop and then twist, pull it back in. Make it a little bit longer than the one in front of it. So here's 3 on each side. I think I'm going to make 4 on each side. A little bit longer. Twist it. And then pull it back in on itself. Make sure that your last loop is that you have enough so that it goes all the way over. And you're able to, when you do your wire, you're able to hold that into the wire. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it off right about here, and I'm going to make my tails separate. Sometimes people like to put the tail on it, but I like to decide where and how much I want for my tail. So there we go. See how that little piece is just right there? I want to make sure that that little piece gets in when I tie it. And then this is just floral wire. we're gonna make a long enough one. If I always, you know, floral wire is one of those where you can, a lot goes along, it goes a long way. So make sure that when you take your piece of wire that, you know, you're always welcome to be able to cut different pieces off. So I always give it a little bit of extra. So if I have to wire it into my project. Okay, so I just put the wire in between that little, see that little loop right there where my thumb's coming through? Make sure that that end is there. And then I'm gonna squish it together, pull as hard as I can. And then I'm gonna twist. If you wanted to, you could take a pliers and you can twist it really, really tight. You're welcome to do that. Okay, and then I just pull so that these two pieces of wire are out, because when I do my tail, I want to put my tail just right there on that little piece. But do you just see how it's just, and then it's just to fluff it. Deciding which way, if you want to, you can start fanning it out. But for this one, I'm just going to leave it just a little bit off center of each other. There we go. So isn't that cool? And it's super, super easy. A little bit of practice on making the loops, but just a fun, fun bow. Okay, so we will keep this on hand when we're ready to put the tail on. So I'm just going to set it off to the side. There we go. Okay, so now we get to decide, should we put it on top? Should we put it on the side? All right, this is going to be the top, and I want to make sure that our wreath is, we're going to fluff it a little bit because I want to make sure that this is exactly right where I want it to be. Yep. Okay, so now it is time. It is time to put some flowers, make it beautiful and pretty. I think kind of where I like to go with this is these flowers here that have the buffalo check on it. And when I do flower arranging, it's in lots of odd numbers. So I'm just gonna kind of play around with it a little bit. Look at 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is gonna be my top. I just got these at Walmart. I was so excited when I found them. Yeah, people were looking at me at the store going, what are you doing? I was like, yay, this is so pretty. I also have some of these too. These are just little sparkly that we can put in there, and then we can put our flowers on top. Let me look here. Let me get another of these. Oh, we need to get clear of the, there we go. We need the greenery as well. So I just got these at the thrift store, and it was in one of those little candle wreaths, and I'm not really into those candle wreaths, but I think that this will work really well. And look here. Here's another one of these. I'm going to put this right here so it kind of balances out each other. This is more of in a triangle, and this is kind of on the side. And I love that about this wreath because you can decide where you want it to be. There's so many different ways. I've seen where the majority of the flower range is here and the bow. It's just your decision on what you want to do. So I think that's really fun that we can, you know, have the same amount of project supplies, but it all looks different. And I've said that a million times, but I think it totally works out great. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, this is one of those where I found this, Big Lots, I believe. And this has to be in here. I love it. We're going to be putting it right about here. So, and it's okay if things kind of stick up 3D, you know, jump out at you. I think that that's a great little way to add dimension to your projects. Okay, and because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, it's an odd, we need an odd number. I'm actually going to take this one and I'm going to put it on the side. I might even put it right there. So this is kind of where we're going. So once we got our base, here's my flower. I'm going to put it right up on top. Let's start gluing and getting it together. Okay, so here's my glue gun. This is my Gorilla glue gun. I got it from Walmart. It is $14, and what I love about it, it has this tiny little little head where it lets me go wherever I need to go, and I love that. All right, so this is one of those projects where you might have to hang out for a little bit. You want to make sure that your glue is going to firm up. This is one of those where, you know, a little bit is not best. You need to be able to put enough on it, and I'm actually leaving that clip in there because I want that metal part to adhere to the wreath. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to load up each of these flowers. Make sure, you know, around here it's super windy, so I want to make sure that wherever this ends up, that it stays on the front door. Or, you know what, I can also see this. I think this would be really pretty at some front entryway, and either that or lay it flat and put it on a end table. I think that would be really neat. Okay, so our little guy, he's going to hang out right about there, and I'm going to wait for him because I want to make sure that this all stays. This is going to stay. We're going to mount the piece of wood in the middle and put the bow on, and he is going to be our final touch. Some more glue. So let me know if you have made a wreath on your door. Is it something where you'd rather buy it or make it? I know some of these go at Michael's for like $60 to $100. I've seen them on Etsy. And sometimes it's just worth it to buy it instead of do it. But let me know how crafty and adventurous in that way. And let me know if you run to Walmart and find more of these. I bought them all out. They're all sold out now. Let me know where you found them. Maybe I might be ordering them online. All right, we forgot this part. Let's do this part first. Perfect. Yep. Okay, and this one is not glued in, so let's glue this one in. And I'm using the low temp glue when I do floral, and I'm going to be doing a lot of gluing. I make sure that it's on the kneading. It will adhere perfectly with florals. There we go. And I have two of these. I'm going to follow my rule and not deviate from it. I'm actually going to put another one up here because I want that that 3 thing to still keep going. So let me put some glue in here. Like that. Today is one of those gluing projects. I made sure that I had extra hot glue, so just in case. All right. There we go. Oh, I think this is looking so fun. See that? Awesome. Okay, and I will show you how to take care of these little glue, we call them spider webs. Okay, and now this is, I'm going to still work with my rule of 3. And I'm going to put this on the top, and we're going to put the bow right here. It will be covered up a little bit, but I think that's good in the way that it just brings a little bit more texture. Yep. And I'm actually going to use this as part of my anchor for my sign in the middle. So that's how I'm going to take care of being able to put that sign in the middle of the wreath. But let's make sure that it stays on. And here we go. I'm just going to put it right in the middle here, middle of this, and see how that goes. Isn't that beautiful? Just a little bit of sparkle here and there. Okay, so now here's my base. This is going to be the, you know, how I always talk about when we do projects like this, we always start with our base and then work up. And this is going to be my base. And then now we're going to be putting on the extra sparkles. So what I'm going to do here, this is the bow that I made, and I want to make sure I'm going to tuck a little bit of this bow into different places here before I glue it on my project, because I want to make sure that I don't want to cut it too short or make it too long. And I could just tuck little pieces in here. And like I said, we're going to put the deer right there, so I want to make sure that I leave room for that. I'm going to tuck it under here. I think I want it a little bit longer. Whoop, whoop, almost had that one tragedy fall down. Let's twirl that. And if you want to go back, you're welcome to use little pieces of wire if you want to, and make sure that your ribbon stays down. Like I said, this is wire ribbon, and so I want to make sure that where I want it to be is where it's going to end up. Okay, let's cut off right about here. We'll see how that goes. There we go. I'm going to go right down the middle, tuck this in amongst the flowers. I think I want a little bit more, and that's what I love about this. We can decide in the middle of it where we want things to go. Let's do that. Let's twirl it a little bit. And then we're going to tuck it right. I think I just want it to go down straight. Okay, so we're going to cut this little part off here. And this is how we dovetail. We're just going to cut it at an angle. We fold it in half. There we go. And we can futz around and mess around with it a little bit later, but this is going to give us the general idea of what we want to do. Okay. So here's our bow. Remember we had the 2 ties there. We are going to actually marry that into the bow, and then I'm just going to wrap it around one of the base, a couple of the base of our foliage. The wreath, we don't want that would be, heaven forbid, we don't want the bow to fall off. So we're going to secure it on here, and behind here is a wire. And I'm going to make sure that it goes to the wire and that it doesn't fall off. Okay, now it's time to fluff. So like I said before, I just did the middle here, and then each one I did a little bit bigger than the other. And so I'm just going to fluff it up. I'm going to pull that. It looks like it needs to be a little bit, there we go. Not so taut. There. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, so here's our bow. We're going to put that on there, make sure it stays. And then we're going to add a little bit more dimension. Let's see. I have so many things on my desk. Let's make sure we found. There it is. The red clipper. I have these. I think I got these from my dad long time ago. But this is almost like I think I went to his toolbox, so sorry, Dad. And found them there, and they've kind of made it to my crafting stuff. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of glue on there. Let's have that peek out a little bit. We have 3 of these, so we'll put these in here. Let's see, that looked good. I want to make sure that it's not too full, but then, you know what, I'm kind of a sparkly person. I like to have little sparkly flashes everywhere. So for me, the more the merrier. There we go. Make sure that it sticks and adheres to something. You don't want it falling out in the middle of your project. So make sure that you get a good, I think that's good, that you get a good spot. Okay, we're gonna put that right in here. Okay, we haven't forgotten. Here is our reindeer. We're gonna put him right in there, and I'm gonna put the glue just right on there. Okay, I'm making sure he's gonna stand and stay. We would not want a tragedy of him falling out of this wreath. So I made sure that there was enough glue on him that he's going to stick forever. There we go. Okay, and now just look, we are seeing here, look at the different angles and things like that. See where you could add if you wanted to. You're welcome to. But this is how it's going, and I think this is just looking a little bit crazy to me. I want it to go down this way. That's one thing I love about wire. You can start moving it wherever you want. So the wire ribbon is kind of up to you of what you'd like to do. Okay, so we have 2 more things to do. So this is the next thing that we're gonna do, and I wanna make sure how I want this to go. And I actually want it to look a little bit up here. What do you guys think? Should we put it up at the top? Or should we put it on the side? What do you think? Is it something that I want it to make sure that we can be able to see the whole thing? And I think the best way to do that is to put it right on top of these 2 snowflakes and have it look like that. Isn't that cool? Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so how we're gonna put the welcome sign on is, this is foam tape, and we're gonna use the foam tape underneath. I know it does have a little bit of, yep, a little bit there. So I wanna make sure when I put foam tape on that you don't see it. That is a definite, let me find, there they are. That is a definite no-no. When you do a project, make sure that your foam tape doesn't show. And if you need to, trim on the side. I usually just put little squares and put them in a spot where inconspicuous. There we go. And I use this for card making. I use them for scrapbooking. These kind of projects are awesome. I'm just making sure you cannot see them. Let's put one up at the top. And you see how the glitter, it just covered the top of the napkin. Let me trim this off because I can see it. Okay, so that's what you do, and then see how these little pieces, they come off, and that's what you're going to be sticking to your project. If all else fails and things like that, you can get 3M. Oops, I already did that one. I get it at Ace Hardware. You can get it at Walmart. This is actual scrapbooking tape. So you can get it any of the craft stores, Hobby Lobby and Michael's. I don't know about you guys, but our Michael's is completely, there's hardly anything left in it. And so I've kind of had to go to thrift stores and things like that to find different things that to look for. Okay, so I'm going to press that down. And it just gives it a little bit of a 3D look for it. Okay, so now here's the thing. This is a little bit heavy, so I want to make sure that when I put these on here that I get enough glue. But for today, I'm going to actually do a little bit more than just a hot glue. And this is E6000. I know I've used it quite a bit, so I'm just about ready to get a new tube of it. But this is one of those glues where when hot glue is not enough, this is a great adhesive. It goes to anything and everything. So I want to make sure that when I put it on, where I put it on, I'm going to do the E6000, which will in the long run make it cement and stay there. But I'm going to use hot glue, and that'll be the temporary, make sure it stays where it needs to go. And you see that there? I'm just putting it right over the top of it. It is okay. I was a little nervous about using it in the past of what goes on first, and is it okay to put that on the top of each other? And absolutely yes. Okay, so now I want to make sure where I'm placing this is where it's going to end up. And I do want it a little bit tilted. I want this to look like, you know, sometimes when it's like super like right there and you want to make sure it's straight and all that kind of stuff, when you do that, then people look at it and go, wait a minute, it looks a little off. So we want to already just do that. See that? Woohoo! I'm so excited. I'm so glad you guys are joining me. This is one of those passions that it's been a few years since I've been doing any types of crafting like this. And I kind of put it away thinking, oh, I'm going to go into scrapping and, you know, stamping. And then I'm going to do just only vinyl. And then I'm like, you know what? Life has its way of just putting you in directions that you kind of were like, oh, I thought it was over that. But I guess I'm not. Okay, I see a little bare spot right here, and I want to make sure that, you know me, I like it full and flashy. So I'm gonna put that there. I think that's, yep, that just finished it off. Okay, so one of the last things we're gonna do is I'm going to put some beads on it. And this right here, I got, you know, at one of the stores. I got it actually at the thrift store. And I'm gonna anchor mine first. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of leeway, and I'm just gonna wrap. That's the one thing about these wreaths. It's okay to take some of those little pieces of foliage and wrap it around there. I'm gonna not glue it on there because whoever gets this, if they really don't want them on there, you're welcome to take them off. But I would love just to see a little bit of pizzazz around. And I'm just gonna weave it in and out of some of the flowers and the foliage, wrap it around this way. And then in the middle here, I'm gonna go around the snowflake up and through. And so when it hangs, those little pieces will drop down and it'll look like they're hanging from each of the flowers and the ribbon. I'm gonna put that in there. Like I said, you get ready and do your project, and then you kind of, I like to move things around and kind of mess with them for a little bit. I'm gonna go on the outside, and this little pine cone, it looks like it needs a little bit of sparkle. Let's make it go through there. And then we're gonna end right at the top, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of a tail so that it hangs down. Like I said, you're welcome just to take your piece of foliage and turn it around, and then I'm gonna cut it off. Okay, let's make sure that this is set, that the E6000 is doing what its job is, and the hot glue has got it there. Okay, so here is our project. Isn't that beautiful? Wouldn't you love to have this at your front door? So if you missed the very, very first part of this, we took our a candlestick that we had, and yep, it has dried throughout the video. Oh, some of it. Let's make sure. I don't want to get paint on our project. But isn't this beautiful? We can just put this right here hanging from our candlestick. So I hope you have enjoyed today. My thing is I love it when people come on my journey with me. Let me know if you are gonna finish a wreath, and or put it in the comments what you've sparkled up this week, or plan to in the next week. Like I said, this wreath right here, it's pretty well finished. I will do a little bit of fluffing here and there. Good morning, Emma. It's so good to see you. This is going to be up in my Etsy shop right now. If you want to go in and I wrote it down because it was one of those where there are so many beautiful projects that are on Etsy. Go to my Etsy store. It's Jane Nicole Designs, and you can look in there, and it says the listing is Facebook Live Farmhouse Christmas Wreath. And that's where that listing is. There is only one available, and this is it. So if you want this on your door, I can actually ship it later on today if you want, tomorrow. Let me know, and you are welcome to own this. So thank you so much for today. Just want to tell you Merry Christmas. I hope that you are getting ready for the season, and that you're going to have family and friends around your house. Let me know what you are doing as far as sparkling and putting Christmas decorations. I would love to see your gals' Christmas trees and things that you have made, and just be able to share the joy of Christmas. I love being able to see what you all have been doing in your houses and things like that. So we are finished for today. So if you would love to be able to help me out in my business, you would either like or share this video. Go to my Etsy shop. You can purchase this today. There's other things there as well. And just spread a little sparkle around and enjoy this Christmas season. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and you have a blessed day. Thanks.